Okay, good morning, everyone. Trust we are doing good. You're welcome to another webinar series that we've got for y'all. Welcome to another webinar series that we've got for everyone. Yeah, thank you for joining me. Wow, Chicks, good morning. How are you doing? Okay, so today we'll be talking about how to trade stocks like a pro. Okay, we're talking about how to trade stocks like a pro, and it's going to be so much like very filled with knowledge and everybody who has something to start applying on their trading accounts. Now, every approach I'll be talking about here is just a basic introduction to the stocks market. Okay, basic introduction to the stocks market, and um, if we get to the technical aspect of it where we start seeing the charts and all, you can apply it to the forex markets, the indices market, the equities market, the bond market, and the commodities market. Okay, so we've got nothing to worry about. Okay, there's no need for our sound check jokes anymore because everybody's responding to the sound check already. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, now, we've got just quite a few number of people on the call, and let's do the quick breakdown. Okay, good morning, Christian. Good morning, Zainab. Good morning. I just called you a few minutes ago. Thank you for joining me. Okay, I'm Latifa. Good morning. Okay, good morning. So, yeah, we know the rule. We know the procedures. If you want to communicate with me, a joke or a conversation, please use the chat box. If you've got a question for me, please use the question section. And I drop polls time to time during the webinar. So you can respond to my polls by clicking on the poll section when I drop one. Okay. So, wow, Victory, good morning. Precious, good morning. Okay. So a quick breakdown of what we do at Eagle Global Markets. Um, just a snippet. The new Eagle Global Markets is coming to you. Okay. The new EGM is coming to you, and you will get to see it very soon. Very soon. Okay. And what we do at Eagle Global Markets is we're a financial broker, and by saying a financial broker, we create financial freedom for people. Okay, we give you opportunities to be financially free by trading the global financial markets, and we have products that gives you access to trading the financial markets, which is the MT4, the cloud trader, and the copy trade. Okay, now I've got controversies going around. Which is better? Is it copying traders or trading yourself? Well, I'll be candid with everybody. Copying traders, trading yourself, either ways, everything works. Okay, everything simply works. You can decide to copy a trader and make money, and you can decide to trade yourself and make money. But just know that, understand that your capabilities in the financial markets will make you more money than whatever any other trader is making, and that's just the logic behind it. So, first off is the MT4 platform where you can trade global financial markets in dollars. Okay, you can trade the global financial markets in dollars, while the cloud trade gives you access to trade global financial markets in Naira, okay, in our own local currency. Then the copy trade platform is a platform where you get access to consistently profitable traders. Okay, we give you access to consistently profitable traders where you can copy their trades. It's even an automated process and make money that way. Okay, so before we proceed, can anyone at all remind me what we discussed in our last webinar? Okay, what was our last webinar about? I'm not talking about the Saturday on. Okay, let's talk about the Thursday on. What was the last Thursday webinar about? What was it about? Can anyone remind me at all what the Thursday last Thursday webinar was about? Buying and selling at the right time. Brilliant. And I'm sure everybody learned a ton from that, because we dropped nuggets and approach on how to buy and sell at the right time. We even dropped trade calls also, and we can all see how the trade call played out. Also, those that were available last week Friday when we called when we were on the webinar for NFP also saw how trading is very easy and how it is to call moves in the financial markets. So, have we got any question at all before we proceed? Any question about the current topic? No, not even the current topic. Topic we've discussed in the past. You want to get enlightened more about it? Any question at all? Anybody? Has anybody got any question? If you've got any question, please let me know. Okay, please let me know. Any question at all before we proceed? Any question at all? Any question at all before we proceed? I just dropped the poll in the poll section. Let's do what to respond to it. So I'm still waiting. Possibly, if there is any question, have you got any question you want to ask? I would gladly call you on stage to discuss with me your question. I will talk it out before we hop into what we have today. Anybody at all? Okay. In the absence of no question, let's hop into today's topic: how to trade the stocks market like a pro. Okay, like a pro. It's the pro for me. Okay, like a pro. Now, can anybody give me an insight or their thoughts into what the stocks market is? Okay, anyone at all? How to trade stocks like a pro? What do you think stocks are? Okay, anyone at all? Okay, okay. I got a few people typing. What are stocks, or what is the stocks market to you? Okay, anybody at all? Okay, stocks are a fraction of company shares listed on the financial markets that can be traded. Yeah, brilliant. That's what stocks really is about. Okay, your shares of company, fraction shares of company to be precise, that you can trade in the financial markets. Okay, I've got Destiny typing. Destiny is trying to drop something in the chat box. Let's see if he's also going to drop something related to that. Yes, yes, very, very similar. I wouldn't really say similar. I would say it's the same. It's the same because it's like as if you are owning a part of that company, and that's just what it is. So, how to trade stocks like a pro? Let's do well to respond to the polls, please. Thank you. How to trade stocks like a pro, and in this session, you'll learn what are stocks, what is a stock exchange, how the prices of shares on the stocks market are set, benefit of trading stocks and trading stocks the right way, where we get into the technical part, okay, and also that possibly fundamental aspect of it. Now, what are stocks? Can okay, we already got a few people talking about what stocks are in the chat box. So, but really, let's take a deep dive into what stocks are. What are stocks? Okay, so a stock or a share, as it's also known as company's equity, is a financial instrument that represents ownership in a company or corporation and represents a proportionate claim on its assets and earnings. Okay, now let me break that down into a very simple form. I'll try to diversify it in a very good way. Okay, so let's say you have a business and the business is about to crumble. Then someone just walked up to you and gave you a 10 million naira grant. Okay, let's say 10 million naira grant in this instance. What that generally means is that 10 million naira, you putting it in your business means that person owns a part or a proportionate aspect of your business. Okay, it means the person owns a part or a proportionate aspect of your business. Okay, Chick says stocks are a percentage of what company has realized to the market for people to buy and sell, which is not owned by the owners. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Now, like I said, a stock or share, which is also known as company's equity, is a financial instrument that represents ownership in a company. Okay, it represents you own ownership in a company or corporation, and represents a proportionate claim. That means a certain amount on its assets, what it owns and what it earns. Okay, that means if you own a stock of a company, it means you own part of the company and you are entitled to a certain part of that company and also to a certain amount that they earn. Do we all understand? If we don't understand, let's drop a yes in the chat box. If we don't understand, let's drop a yes in the chat box. Okay. I'd love to get more yes, actually. I'd love to get more yes. Or let me take it through another angle. Okay. Now, let's say Honda comes to you for, and they tell you that, okay, we need you to support our business, and you give them $1 trillion. Okay. That $1 trillion, you come into an agreement with them that, okay, I will own certain part of the company. So you can decide you want to own the part of the company that does the engine. So whenever you want to pull out your money, you are pulling out everything that concerns the engineering department, the department that does the engine of the cars. And when they can't do the engine of those cars, they end up running out of business. So they want to keep the relationship close with you. That's just like the whole structure behind what stocks are. Okay. And furthermore, stock ownership implies that you are a shareholder of that company. Okay, you own a slice. Okay, if the company is a cake, you own a slice of that cake. And when you own a slice of that cake, it means you own a certain number of shares held as a proportion of the company's total outstanding shares. So let's take, for instance, now, if Eagle Global Markets decide to make its stocks ownership for everybody, and we have 1,000 stocks. If you buy one, that means you own one aspect of the company. Okay, so for instance, now, if you own 10,000 or 100,000 shares of the company with 1 million outstanding shares, that means you have total 10% ownership. Okay, remember, if the total shares is 1 million and you own 100,000, that means you have 10% ownership stake in the company. And when most companies have shares, they always have outstanding shares that runs into millions and billions in numbers. Okay, that means a company can just have 1,000 shares. Okay, it has to be much so that everybody, even the elites and the masses, can own a certain amount. But the highest shareholder owns the highest part of the company, and that's just the logic. So do we understand clearly now? If we do understand, please drop a yes in the chat box. Okay, great. So to the next thing right now, what is a stock exchange, or what are stock exchanges? Now, remember we said in Forex is OTC, over the counter based market, where you can actually exchange your dollar for naira, naira for dollar. Now, for stocks to be traded, okay, okay, so like I said, for stocks to be traded, effectively, you need to trade it off a market, and the market is considered the stocks exchange market. Okay, the market is said to be the stock exchange market, where you can buy and sell stocks or shares. Okay, depending. Now, the stock exchange market is the secondary market for stocks or companies, stocks of companies, and it's where existing owners of shares can transact with potential buyers of shares. Okay, now it's important to understand that the corporations listed on the stocks market do not buy or share or sell their own shares on a regular basis. Okay, now, it's important for you to understand that all these companies that are listed on the stock exchange don't buy or sell their own shares on a regular basis. Okay. Now, fine. Companies may indulge in buybacks and all, but these are not day-to-day operations. Okay. they often occur outside the framework of an exchange. You don't do it on an exchange because it might actually help liquidate a lot of um, um, feather hands. Okay, feather hands are those people that don't have a lot of that shares bulk. Okay, now so in the stock exchange market, you are not really buying from the company itself. You are buying from someone in the company that wants to sell their shares. Okay, so when you buy a share of a stock in the stock market, you are not buying from the company directly. You're buying it from someone other than an existing shareholder. So you're just buying from an existing shareholder that wants to sell part or all of his shares. And likewise, when you share also, when you sell your shares also, you don't sell them back to the company. You sell them to some other investor that is willing to buy the shares of that company. Okay? So do we understand? Do we understand? If we do understand, please drop a yes in the chat box. And if we don't, please drop a no in the chat box. Let's take it from this angle. If you buy um, a bag of chips, okay, and you keep it at home, and you don't want to eat that bag of chips, okay, you want to sell it, you don't go back and sell it to the company, right? You sell it to someone interested in buying that bag of chips where you reside from. Silas, do you understand now? Okay, what I mean is, if you buy a bag of chips from someone on the streets or a vendor on your street, and you keep it at home, then you don't feel like eating the chips and you feel like selling it back. You don't sell it back to the vendor, right? You sell it back to someone who is interested in buying that bag of chips from you. Do you understand now, Silas? Do you understand now? Great, great, great. I'll reply to your question, Miracle, very, very soon. Very, very soon, okay? Still, let's keep that question for now. Just drop it in the question section so I don't forget, okay? So it doesn't fly over my head. Now, how the prices of shares on the stock market are set. Now you'll be wondering, Apple is trading at let's say $600 for instance. Amazon is trading at I'm just random prices, okay, not potential market price, okay. Or let's just say Amazon is trading at XYZ amount, Apple is trading at ABC amount, and the likes. Now you wonder how they set that price, okay. Now the price of shares in the stock market can be set in various ways, okay, various ways. But the most common way is what we were talking about. And the most common way is what we do generally every day when we go out to purchase something. Now, you know, when you go to the market to get, let's say you went to get fish. Now, going to get fish, you get to the retailer, that's the person selling the fish, and you meet a lot of crowd there. Then the retailer brings out a fish and say she would sell it for 2,000 naira. Now, what happens? Everybody start contemplating on the price. Someone is willing to pay 1,800. Somebody is willing to pay 1,900. Somebody is willing to pay 1,700. Someone's willing to pay 1,600. Now, from just that brief explanation, who would she sell the fish to among those four people mentioned? Okay, among the four people mentioned, who would she sell the fish to? Is it the person who offered 1,900? Is it the person who offered 1,800? Is it the person who offered 1,700? Or the person who offered 1,600? I'd like to get your response, okay? Exactly, the highest bidder, okay? And that we can relate it to as a form of auctioning, right? She auctioned her fish, and she got paid by the highest bidder, or because 2,000 to 1,900 is still relatively high, okay? So that person bidded higher, like, than the other people, okay? So she offered the fish to the what? To the highest bidder. And that is the same way the prices of stocks are set in the stocks market, okay? It's done through an auction process where buyers and seller place bid and offers to buy or sell, okay? They place bid prices and offer prices to buy or sell a certain stock, okay, certain financial instrument. And now the logic is a bid price is the price at which you want to buy. The offer, which is the ask price, is the price at which someone wants to sell. So when someone says, I'll sell my own Apple share for 1,000 naira, somebody on the other end is saying, I'll buy it for 1,100. I'll buy it for 1,200. I'll buy it for 900. He's going to sell to the what? Highest bidder. Because of 1,000 coincides with 1,200 and it's even greater. Now that is how trades are made in the stocks market. Okay, that I'm talking about physical stocks market, where like the New York Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, the Tokyo Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange. But online also it's done that way. Okay, virtually it's done that way, where you are tagged to someone making the offer that your price is relatively close to. Okay, that's how it's done. So do we all understand how the prices of the stocks market is set? Okay, how the price of shares in stocks market is set. Victory, the meeting has started already. Do you mind increasing the volume of your phone? Okay, I think you actually reduce the volume of whatever device you're using to connect. That's why you can't hear us. No problem at all, Adjus. Hope you're doing good. So do we understand how the prices of shares on the stock market are set? Brilliant. Now, let's hop on to the benefits of trading stocks. Okay, the benefits of trading stocks. Now, there's a lot of benefit attached to trading the stocks market, and I have a saying about stocks, which is, if you like slow money, trade stocks. Okay, if you like slow money, trade stocks. Like you want to be rich, but not fast. You just want to be rich slowly. You trade stocks. Okay, and also if you want to get rich quick, trade stocks on our platform. You make a lot of money trading stocks on our platform. I would still explain that logic to everybody and I'll show you how I do it. Okay. Now, the benefits of trading stocks. Now, when we talk about the benefits of trading stocks, let's start from the money volume. Okay, the money volume. The forex market, which is currency pairs, commodities, and all, have the highest liquidity flow, which is $6.6 trillion daily. Okay, the stocks market have relatively close to a billion, 600 and something billion, if I'm correct. And you can actually invest your money in that 600 and certain amounts of billion and watch it grow day by day. Okay, by investing in the right stocks. Okay, let's say for instance you invested in Apple last year. You just bought 2 shares worth of Apple. You would actually, if you go to your charts right now, you actually see how Apple flew during the coronavirus period higher, and it's still moving higher right now. And you could have made a whole lot of money during the coronavirus by trading Apple stocks. Okay, now let's take another one also, Pfizer. If you had traded Pfizer stocks during the coronavirus period till now, Pfizer was still flying high, and that's how you could have made a lot of money trading stocks. Another benefit of trading stocks is company always gets additional funds when they issue more shares. Now, imagine Apple comes, AMC also, yes, AMC, GameStop. You could have made a whole lot of money investing in all of that. Now, if the company puts out more shares or issues more shares, more people buy. When more people buy, it means the value of the company increases and goes higher. That's another benefit of trading the stocks. Okay, now these stocks are publicly traded, and when they are publicly traded, it means anybody can invest in it. Imagine a whale comes and invests in Apple stocks or AMC or Tesla. you know what would happen to the price? Price would actually go up higher and you'll make a lot of money. Also, stocks can actually act as currency of that company. Okay, it can actually act as the currency of that company. And imagine having the currency of a company at hand. That sets you up for life, puts you on the top scale. And those are just few out of the many benefits of trading the stocks market. Now, how do you trade the stocks market the right way? I have an approach I use. I've got my notes right here in front of me, and I have an approach I use. The first thing on the list, let me share my white screen a minute. Okay, share my whiteboard soon. A minute. Share my whiteboard in a few minutes. Victory, can you hear me speak? Yes, it's on our MT4 platform. Okay, you can trade it as a derivative on our MT4 platform and on our cloud trade platform also. We are yes, Nigerian stocks are actually very, very, very shitty. Yeah, I'm not talking about the Nigerian stocks actually. I'm not talking about the Nigerian stocks at all. We've not on our platform. We've got the US stocks on our platform, on our cloud trade and our MT4 platform. I'm going to show that. You've got nothing to worry about. Um, no, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. We've not got Nigerian stocks on our platform. So it's only the US stocks we've got on our platform. I'm trying to like pop up my whiteboard. No, you can trade Nigerian stocks. We have a platform we're setting up for stocks generally. You'd get to know about it soon. Just watch our social media handles for an update on that. Okay. But for now, you can trade them as derivative products on our MT4 platform and what's it called? Copy trade platform. Okay. So I'm trying to pop up my whiteboard and write out those things I do when I want to buy a stock. Okay. Okay, I believe everybody can see my whiteboard. Yes, 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 yes. To trade like FX where you don't own it. Yes, you can do that on our MT4 platform and on our cloud trade platform. Okay. But to buy where you own it, we have a platform coming for that. Okay. Just watch our social media handles for that. Yes, 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 yes. On Nigerian stocks, not US stocks. Okay, Chooks, let me get you on board first. But let me break down what I want to explain first, then I get you on board to put out your question. Okay? Yeah, I'd make it a bit bigger soon. A minute. So the first thing I do is I research. Okay. Can everybody see my screen now? Can you see my screen now? Yes. So first thing I do is I research. So let's take for instance now. I want to trade AMC. Okay. I need to know what AMC is. Okay. Let's say I want to trade GameStop. I need to understand GameStop itself. Okay. I'll need to go online and research about GameStop. What's the company? What's the company about first? What do they do? How have they been doing well previously? And things like that. So when I get to understand what the company is doing, then the next thing I do is look at people thoughts or comments about them. Okay. I want to see if it is at the bubbling phase or the cold phase. Okay. So second thing I do is understand the phase. Now, understanding the phase is simply, are people talking about AMC a lot? If people are talking about AMC a lot, I'm not buying AMC. Okay. If people are not talking about AMC a lot, I'll buy AMC. And that is just based on the greater fool theory. Okay. The greater fool theory. Okay. When people start talking about it, it's not good for investing. When people are not talking about it, that's when it's good for investing. Now, people are not talking about all these cryptos anymore because of its dumping. They're saying bad about it. The fear level is high. The fear level is very, very high. This is like the right time to start capitalizing on it. Same thing as stocks. Okay, people are not talking about. If people are not talking about any of those stocks I'm watching, or I look to buy, then I think that's the right time for me to capitalize into it. Start buying. Start buying. Even if it continues falling, I start buying. I start buying because I'm accumulating more. I'm accumulating more, and that's the thing. Now, when I've researched, I understood what AMC is, I understand the face. The next thing I do is, based on Porter's theory, there's a certain theory about price. Okay, I have to check the previous all-time low, last quarter of the year. Now, last quarter of the year, I'm not saying last 4 months. Fine, I'll check the last 4 months or the last 3 months to be precise of the year, and I also check last 3 years, the all-time high and the all-time low. Okay, so it now ATH based on Porter's theory. Then when I now understand all of this, I look for buy areas. I look for buy areas. Now that's just the basic thing I do when I want to capitalize into stocks. Okay, I research the stock, I understand the face, then I look for ATH and ATL, all-time highs and all-time lows, okay? Not just ATH. Based on quarters theory, then I look for buy areas or sell areas, okay? So I'll be trading it as a derivative product. If I want to buy, I only want to buy and own. But if I'm trading as a derivative product, I'll either be looking for buying opportunities or selling opportunities. That's the buy or sell area. That's where I now start using my support and resistance, my trend lines, and all. So that's how I trade stocks, okay? And I get the max profit from it. So I'll just stop sharing this screen, and I hope everybody wrote that down. And that's how I trade stocks the right way. Okay, that's how I do it for the best of profit or the max profit. So this brings us to the end of today's webinar, but that's not the end though. I'm open to questions, to taking questions now. So please do ask your questions, and also I'll be bringing Chooks to on board to give us his question. Also, if you want to be brought on board to ask your question, please let me know. Okay. In favor, the meeting has not ended at all. So I'm waiting on questions actually. And yeah, let me quickly answer Miracle. So Miracle said, what information can I give about trading? I give a lot of information about trading. You have to be specific on what information you want. You have to be very, very, very specific on informations you want. So I'll be bringing on board Chooks. Invite to participate. Yeah, I just sent you an invite right now. Okay. So Chooks, I'm waiting for you to join me on board. Okay, great.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you doing this morning?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Great. Okay, so please do go ahead with your question.
Yeah, no. You were talking about the American stocks because I mean I've traded, had good success with the stocks on the EGM platform. But I'm just like with you, with new beginners joining. Not everyone's got 20 or a million naira. Everyone wants to make it and then to put on stocks. But you know, when you talk about the Apple and the GameStop, you know, how many people have the deposit? I know the American stocks are closed now, so it'll be hard to check. But I mean, just to even trade 100 naira per pip, you understand?
Yeah.
How many people have? Is it up to like 60,000 naira just to deposit to trade 100 naira a pip? You know, and then really and truthfully, are the gains there for a beginner trader? I mean, everyone loves the name Apple and Amazon and Netflix, but realistically, you know, you got the MT4. So if you can show them now, because I like to be realistic about trading stocks, and it's all good to hear the name, but when you go to the platform and you put in 50 naira, they're already talking about 40,000. You even then obviously you double it to 100 naira. Then you're already talking about 60, 70. So it becomes not worth it to that person. You know, that's why I was saying if I know on the platform you've got the UK stocks and they're a lot cheaper, you know, cheaper for like beginners to get into, and obviously for newbies as well that don't understand how to trade stocks or want to learn how to trade stocks, but obviously get their foot in. I believe the UK stocks will be kind of better. You know, obviously if they want to go to their mum and dad and go and borrow 100,000 naira as a deposit, and the mum and dad say so, then fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, I get where you're coming from. That's why we've got varieties of stocks on the platform actually, and also we need to consider the fact of leverage. Okay, that gives you a much more what's it called advantage, low deposits, and you can still trade these things. So I'm trying to
is the leverage on FX the same as if I have a
okay,
I've got an account that's leverage 1 to 400?
Yeah.
Is that across the whole board on stocks and FX?
Across the whole board. As long as it's on the account, it's across the whole board. That's what I wanted to explain the other time.
Okay.
So it's across the whole board, and that's why there are varieties of stocks. Fine, everybody wants to trade Apple, Netflix, Facebook, Google, Tesla, and all. But once they understand, okay, you need a lot more money to trade these things, the first thing that pops up is not to trade it, okay, not to force that trade, so as to be able to protect capital, and that's the thing. Because once you understand capital preservation is key, you actually want to do you actually understand the general saying less is more in the financial markets. So quickly breaking down, please do go ahead.
No, go on, sorry.
So please do breaking down the okay, you want recommendations on good stocks in Nigeria? I really can't give recommendations. Okay, I really can. You can do a research and see the company is good. You can hop on the stocks, and the company ends up coming out with a nonsense revenue for the month or for the quarter, and I'm trying to avoid that. So I won't be giving recommendations on any stocks at all. But you can do your research. I already gave you the process. The process is to research, understand the stock, understand the phase it's in, the all-time high and all-time low based on last 3 years, and look for your buy or sell areas. That's the sweet logic to it. It all takes practice. Once you go over it multiple times, you'd see what's it called? You'd see the advantages and the disadvantages and the profit potential. Okay, about Nigerian stocks, I really don't do Nigerian stocks. There was one time I did analyze Dangote cement, and I'll be very, 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 very candid with everybody. Those, like, the Nigerian stocks itself doesn't follow the general technical analysis rule. Okay, it never follows the basic technical analysis. They just decide, okay, we are taking this to 100 naira today and dumping it. It's like the few elites in the Nigerian stocks industry can actually push price because of the small scale of the market. Okay, the stocks market in Nigeria is very, very small. That if you've got a good amount of funds, let's say 50 million naira, you can decide to look for the cheap stock and just pump it there and push price higher, make people talk about it, then you dump it again one more time. Like, that's it. That's the disadvantage.
What I'm doing with one of those Nigeria.
That's what you're doing. Don't let SEC come for you at all.
No, that's what I've noticed with Nigerian stocks, because I started following them was it a year and a half ago, and a lot of the bank stocks dropped. There were petits, but then a lot of people made money, just like what you said. They pumped them up and they just dumped them, and they dumped very fast. So I started following a gold stock, and I noticed that dividend. This stock went from, I think it was 20 kobo or something to 1 naira and something in about a week and a half. As soon as dividends were paid, boom, it dropped. So I got in. So I've been buying, just building up. If it drops to like 50 kobo, I buy another 30,000. Just basically waiting until it gets to like 2 naira.
Gold stocks, right?
Yeah, it's those stocks that you want to find. But all, like you said, all the bank stocks are 25. I think Zenith is 20 naira, or to 25. I mean, that's going nowhere fast. So it's those stocks that you said that you want to basically pump and dump.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to follow them. You can't just see a stock cheap and then jump in thinking that you're going to be a millionaire in next quarter.
Not done that way, exactly. That's why the research process is very, very key. Like, the same way you do for crypto, where you understand the ecosystem of the coin, the potential of the coin. Is it a DeFi? Is it NFT? Those things you really do, that you stay on research for an hour, 2 hours on crypto. That's the same logic you bring down to the stocks market, and that's how you capitalize on it. And also, I would mention it again: stocks is not quick money. Okay, it takes time to build up a portfolio. It takes time to manage a portfolio. Okay, so you don't expect, because of the big dogs on Reddit can push AMC at any time they like. Don't expect the same on Nigerian stocks market unless you've got a few friends that actually, okay, like
own the company.
I'll tell you a quick joke. Okay, I've got a friend in China, and he was explaining the logic they do in China. Teenagers actually, this kids, that their parents has got a lot of money, and they could actually steal from their parents to do these things. So what they do is to their parents, ask for a certain amount, then they get to double the amount and look for a cheap cryptocurrency. All these upcoming shit coins, okay? All these upcoming shit coins, and they pump in liquidity into it, push price to a certain amount. That's when you see us here in the country start talking about those coins. Then people ape into it, and price continue going up. Then all of a sudden they pull out liquidity, and everybody goes back home.
Yeah,
Unless you've got friends with that same capability. Unless you've got friends with that same capability in Nigeria, they've got funds and all, you could team up with them and do the same. Push price, just slap price around. The same way Elon Musk is doing to Bitcoin. Okay, but I really think it's not Elon Musk pushing Bitcoin at all. It's just what the financial market is meant to do. Price is delivering the way it's delivering. Okay, this is not a FUD. This is not a financial advice, but BTC to 19K. No, don't you think so, Chicks? You don't think BTC is coming to 19K?
So.
I think so. 19K soon, quite soon. Well, it's not FUD. It's not exactly. Yes, it's dipping deeper. So has anybody got any question? Any other question? Okay. Precious, I will bring you on board to ask your question. I know that question is from crypto. Okay, I know it's based on crypto. I would gladly try to avoid the question, but since I already said you could ask any question at all, yeah. Cross margin and isolated margin, it's always on Binance, up above. I know because I use the app also, but I will just explain the concept of cross margin and isolated margin to you. You come on board and ask your question. I sent you an invite already.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm good. Thank
Okay,
you.
great. So your question.
Yeah, I wanted you to please explain cross margin as well as isolated margin.
Okay. So, um, now first off is to understand that margin is relatively the same as what's it called, leverage. Okay. Now, when we say cross margin, your it's all about your how would I put it? Okay, so you borrowed. I'll use this fiscal example actually. You have 50,000 naira,
Okay.
then you borrowed from 5,000 naira. Okay. Now, instead of
Okay.
you spending from the 25,000 naira, okay, you didn't spend from the 25,000 naira. You spent from your own 50,000 naira to avoid spending from that 25,000 naira. That's cross margin. Okay. That's cross margin. Now, let me bring it down
Okay.
to basic trading term. Now, if you open a position, is this question from crypto, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if
From
you
Binance.
use yeah, I know Binance to be precise. Now, if you use a 20x margin, what they are doing generally is they are not pulling out what's it called? The leverage, whatever leverage you are getting, it's going to be affecting your total balance and not the leverage itself. Okay.
Okay.
Do you get?
Yeah.
So it's your total balance.
Just
Sorry, what am I saying? Sincere apologies. Like what I'm saying is the how would I put it? The funds to open the trade, okay, is drawn from the
yeah.
leverage itself. So it won't avoid your total balance so as to not get
Okay. Yeah.
liquidated. I hope you understand. So it's from the leverage.
Yeah.
You know the way we give you 1
Yeah.
200, where you can do 200 multiple of your balance. That's what it is. So they're not pulling from your own account balance. They're just doing it from the leverage. So it's from you're
Okay.
using the provider's liquidity to run that trade. So when we talk about isolated margin is just like you are on a leverage of 1:1. You can only place trade based on your capital.
Okay.
Okay. So that's just the logic between
Yeah.
cross margin and isolated margin.
Okay. You don't have anything to lose here in cross margin.
In cross
Like
margin,
you're not borrowing at this point.
in cross
Yeah.
margin,
Like you
you
didn't
are borrowing.
borrow. Yeah.
Remember, it's leverage. Okay? You've borrowed. Remember, I said cross margin is leverage. You've borrowed. If it's isolated margin, your capital, okay, you're restricted to a certain amount. That's based on your capital.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question? Any other question? Okay. In the absence of no other questions, I'll be dropping the last two polls and um, we'll bring the webinar to an end. So I'm actually sending out the last two polls. Okay, here we go. Okay, great. So please let's respond to those polls. The last one is, yeah. Okay, great. So let's do all to respond to it. Thank you. I'd love to get more response. So the replay will be available on the webinar on our YouTube channel. And also, let's try to preach the gospel of the financial markets everywhere we go. We know the financial market holds a lot of potential that could liberate a lot of people from not being able to cater for things financially. And that's the logic. That's what we preach at in global markets. And that's the approach to making money, okay? Making money the right way. So, okay, there's a question. God. Okay. Okay. There's a request to run a technical analysis on US 500 and Euro stocks 50. So I'm coming. Let me pull out US 500 as on my charts on my MT4. Okay, I'll be sharing my MT4 right now. Okay, so this is the S&P 500. Okay, great. Yeah, so let me just put up a template. Okay, wow, so shiny. Okay, so I always do a top-down analysis actually to understand where most of these financial instruments are heading to. So this is S&P 500 monthly chart, and Oh, great, great. Oh, that's great, Precious. So you can fund your trading account now, I believe. So let's get to US S&P 500. That's US 500. Now, wow, I really don't want to. I just like the black template. Actually, I feel comfortable using the black template. Okay, yeah. Okay, so can everybody see my screen? If you can see my screen, please let me know. Okay. The previous month's candle was the all-time high, right? This is it right here. This candle right here was the all-time high. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. It's going to the all-time high. Let's keep that in mind. It's going to the all-time high. And looking closely at the monthly time frame, this was the previous swing high, the major high before we had a drop, and it was in 2020. It was during Corona right here. Okay, like this was during Corona right here. So I want to actually pinpoint this. Okay, right there. And look at what we had. Every single time price moved, there was no inefficient price action there, no inefficient price action here. But look what we have right here. Okay. There's a bit of inefficient price action here, right here. So generally, I am bullish on all indices. Okay, all indices. I'm bullish on all indices. But we still don't need to ignore the fact that wherever price is inefficient, there is a reason for that, and this is the monthly bullish. We call it support for the sake of those people that don't understand most of the concepts are used. So we just call it support, right? Kelechi, we call it support for their sake. So what do I really expect? The institutional order flow on that's the trend direction on S&P is bullish. So me trying to be a bear in a bullish market is actually not advisable. Okay, so I can go to the 1 hour time frame now. Sorry, one daily time frame and try to see price action properly. Okay, now this is the monthly order block that we were looking at, and we can see price was filled, price was filled until we got to this area right here, where can be seen clearly that we had inefficient piece of price action there. Okay, so we can see clearly at this area that there was some sort of inefficient piece of price action there, and this is one significant order block right there. Okay, yeah. So we were able to streamline that monthly order block to this. So this is the all-time high we are watching right there. Now, we want to consider all factors, okay? All hands on deck, all factors. Now, this is resistance right here, okay? This was a source right here. Okay, now This was an uptrend. Let's deal with this uptrend here. Low, high, higher low, higher 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 high. Then we had what? A low right here. Now, it's actually saying break a market structure. That's actually a break a market structure. Okay, no problem at all. This is actually a break a market structure. Okay, and now we have liquidity below here. That's sponsorship and inefficient price action right here. Okay, then we have liquidity right below there. Now, why would price want to come above this high? Many people say this is break a market structure. Yes, I would not dispute that fact at all. Okay, but I will just take this as liquidity right here. Okay, now we had price go higher into it, but price is currently trading within this area right here. Okay, so I can just decide to mark out the center as the main threshold. Okay, now if we look at price closely, this is a 98 point something fib level. I don't have that fib level marked out on my Fibonacci, but I believe from previous study it's what it is, 98 point something fib level, but I don't have it marked out on my fibs. So to the 4-hour time frame now, look at what we had recently on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, that big source on the, what's it called, on the daily time frame, we can now reduce it to this and see what price generally did. That's the old high, but see what price generally did. Price touched it first time, went down. Price touched it again, reacted. This is actually telling us that there's some, or there's more to this piece of price action right here. There's more to it. And look at the 4-hour time frame now. If we look at this, if we deal with this price action here, this is a low, this is the high, this is the higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then structure broke. Structure broke right there. Wow. Okay, structure broke right there. And we created a piece of price action here that is inefficient. Okay, and this is one area to watch. This is one area to watch. So what's this telling me now? This telling me that price has something to deliver. Okay, price has some sort of delivery it wants to do. Because looking left, inefficient price action, it has something it's willing to do. And I think we're already in the New York Q zone right now. I think so. I really don't know those time values on my head. But this is another BMS right here. And let's go to the 15 minutes time frame. That's why I want to see price better. Okay. Now, this was a high. This is a low. This was like the first down move, because look at it. Asian high to low. It was the what 61.8 fib level, and this is like previous low right here. We got there. So I'll just still keep watch on S&P 500 and see what it does. Okay, I will like keep watch and see what it does. I'm not buy or sell button trigger happy right now. So I'll just wait and see what price does. I'll only wait and see what price has to offer. If S&P closes daily below or lower than the current formation, that'll give us a swing point in price, and might try to capitalize on that. That's just my thought on S&P 500. But I'm generally bullish, so the shorts are not really something I want to favor into though. I'm not really looking to short. I'm generally bullish on S&P though. If we clear this highs, then yeah, I'll look for longs. But if we trade below lower as I anticipate, I'll go short. The market works either ways. So who asked that question? Christian, you good with the S&P 500? Christian, are you good with the S&P 500? So let's check Euro Stocks 50. Well, we end up having the same bias also though. We'll end up having the same bias, like I said. Candlestick, monthly order block, inefficient piece of price action, previous high, same old thing. It's even cleared. This one has cleared its previous all-time high. I don't really see this one coming down further though. Although there's inefficient stuff right here, that's CB right there, but I'm not really willing to see it. I see higher prices on ER 50, ER stock 50 though. Higher prices, like more higher prices. And if I'm seeing higher prices for this, I think S&P would actually also trade higher come New York session. Okay, let's see what happens New York session. That's just my thoughts. That's my thoughts on it. So this brings us to the end of today's webinar. I hope we all learned a thing or two from it. See you on Tuesdays or Thursdays webinar, where I'll be talking about 5 ways to make money from the financial markets. We will talk about the technical aspects, careers in financial markets. Like even if you come to my classes, you could make a lot from like lots. Don't worry, there's a lot of logic to making money in the financial market, and I will be showing everybody that. So come Thursday, I'll be teaching all of that on my webinar, and yeah, good luck and good trading.